Welcome to the Warframe Weapon Encyclopedia, where today we're checking out the Daikyu. You can get the blueprint for the Daikyu from the Tenno lab in your dojo, and it's not too expensive. You will need some new roads as well as a fully built forma. The Daikyu is a master rank bow that does primarily puncture, but it still does a lot of impact and slash as well. It has a very high crit with standard 2x crit multi and very high status. Now on top of all of that, the Daikyu also comes with 3 meters of innate punch through, relatively long charge time for a bow, and it can only fire fully charged shots. So if you don't charge it all the way, it's not gonna do anything. However, to kind of make up for that, it has the highest damage of all bows if you don't count some of the ones with big AoEs like the Lens or the Kuva Brahma. And there is still more. It has a guaranteed impact proc on every shot. It has the fastest projectiles of all bows and the second fastest projectiles of all weapons in the game, and it has 3 very cool unique mods that it can equip. The first one is Thunderbolt, which is bow and crossbow exclusive. This gives you a chance for your arrows to explode and do a little bit of AoE damage. Then there is Spring-Loaded Broadhead, which gives you more damage the farther away the enemy is. And finally, Amalgam Daikyu Target Acquired, which gives you a headshot multiplier, it gives you lifesteal on Ikanas, and it gives you a chance to pick up fired arrows. Now, since the Daikyu comes with a guaranteed impact proc, the best thing you can do here is utilize internal bleeding and essentially convert those impact procs into slash procs. And on top of that, we add a little bit of crit as well as viral with some status with dual stat mods. However, this build can change quite drastically depending on what mods you have. If for example you have Galvanized Chamber, you don't necessarily need Vigilante Armaments to round out your multi-shot, so you can take that out and replace it with something like Galvanized Scope. And if you have Primary Merciless or Deadhead at a decent rank and you can keep them going, you don't necessarily need Serration, so you can take it out and put in Galvanized Aptitude for a lot more status, which then means you can actually drop Rhyme rounds and put in Primed Cryo rounds, which gives you a lot more viral and higher chance to proc viral. So there's a lot of stuff you can do here, and it all depends on what kind of stuff you have. Now, as far as the damage is concerned, the Daikyu is probably the strongest bow single target wise in the entire game, and it's one of the strongest single target weapons in the game. And it's all thanks to internal bleeding, because previously you could run with Hunter munitions and it was okay, but it was very unreliable. However, now with internal bleeding, the damage is really strong and super reliable. The downside here is that it's a single target weapon through and through. It is slow, but it does great damage. So it's not a weapon that you do farming with. If you want to run through a few exterminates, yeah, you don't take the Daikyu because it's gonna take you forever to slowly pick off the enemies one at a time. But if you need big damage, like really big damage, every now and then for like a occasional bombard or a Nox, this is the weapon you want to have. So yeah, the Daikyu, it's actually pretty good nowadays, and that's pretty much it. So I thank you very much for watching as always, guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video and found it helpful, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.